We are live here, B.S.ing with the guys, talking about WrestleMania 41. Brayden is with us, Young Brayden. That's Justin's son. He's going to be giving us expert analysis on what he watched over the weekend. Brayden, have you been to a WrestleMania before?
No, I haven't been to a WWE event at all. WrestleMania 42 is actually in New Orleans.
Have they had one in New Orleans? I'm sure they have before, huh?
I'm pretty sure it's like every 6 years because WrestleMania 30 and 36, and then it's gonna be 42. So I think that's just the way they're going. I guess they split it up like they do every 6 years on like certain states and stuff, but. Yeah.
So it has been in the Superdome before then?
Yeah.
Okay. I was wondering. I thought you had been to one. Maybe it's the monster truck stuff I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But, so it was what, Saturday and Sunday they do the WrestleMania? How long have they been doing that, or do you even know? Because when I was young, it used to just be one night.
I don't know when they started it, but it had to be around in the 20s, WrestleMania 20s, because they've been doing it because it's kind of like now that there's a lot more, like there's a lot more titles, there's a lot more everything.
Okay.
So it's a big thing. So they're probably gonna have to they probably had to split it up because since it's such a big event, so there's so much, so they probably just had to split it.
I was wondering that because I when you were telling me, I think yesterday we were talking about it, and you were saying it was going on all weekend. I'm thinking, weekend? It used to be a one-night pay-per-view type thing, and it was over. It must be huge now, which, matter of fact, I saw, I think it was Stone Cold that was in there talking about the number of people that were in attendance. I mean, it was huge.
63,000, something like that.
Crazy.
And that was Sunday, and Saturday it was like 61,000. He did the math. It was like 100,000. No, 123,000, I think.
Yeah, that's what I had heard. 120-something thousand. That is a lot of people paying attention to wrestling. Jesus.
Yeah.
I had no idea it was still that big, man. Like I said, I hadn't paid attention to it in years.
And if you look at it, they were in the Las Vegas Raiders Stadium. So if you look, I watch Monday Night Raw. So if you look, there's a big difference between Monday Night Raw and WrestleMania. Like if you look at the Raw crowd, there ain't that many people there. You're like, there's probably like 6,000 there.
Yeah.
And then there's WrestleMania, which there's like 60,000 every WrestleMania.
And like big time celebrities I was looking at too. I mean,
let me think who was there. Let me think.
Well, I know I'm probably nobody you need to be listening to, but the guy Tony Hinchcliffe from Kill Tony, which is a podcast that us fools listen to, but he was there. I can't remember. There's a couple of actresses and actors that they put on the screen, that I noticed in the highlights.
Yeah, there was a couple rappers.
Yeah, it's a big event, man. It was a big one. But now I know you went into it. You was excited. It was, I'm sure you've been waiting on it. And as far as your overall impression, did it meet your expectations, or did it kind of fall short? I mean, were you happy with how everything turned out?
I was happy with how one match that I don't know. It could have been way more.
I'll
tell you that. John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, the main event of night 2.
Yeah, I heard somebody else complaining that it just wasn't what they thought it was going to be.
It wasn't because, if you look at WrestleMania 40, Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, it's so much more. Like, they had The Rock came out, John Cena came out, a couple other family members, a bunch of other people came out. But I understand because that was kind of like a bloodline rules, which means anything goes. So that came out. I mean, I like that Travis came out, but like since when was he associated with the WWE? So like.
So you think it was more of just the storyline of that last fight that just kind of didn't really live up to what you were expecting?
It wasn't the
was it the performance?
It wasn't the storyline. It was mainly that it was the performance because it's John Cena and Cody Rhodes, two of the biggest people in that company right now, and they make it to a ref gets knocked down. John Cena hits him with the title, and then Travis comes out and gets crossroad by Cody Rhodes, but then the ref gets back in, and
Well, first he kicked him in the nuts and then hit him with the title.
yeah,
Hit him with the belt. I did see
yeah,
that because isn't he a heel now? So
yeah.
he's playing a
He's
little dirty.
yeah, yeah. At Elimination Chamber, they were in the ring, and so the main thing was The Rock was gonna come out because he offered Cody a deal. If you sell your soul to me, then you will forever be champion, which is stupid. And Cody didn't accept. Well, you know who did accept? John Cena. That's why he's heel now.
Oh, I can't believe he did that.
He hugs Cody, and The Rock does this finger thing, like 1, 2, and this. And once they hug, he smiles and just kicks him right in the nuts, and and that was forever. Like, and at the post show, they always do a promo of like the wrestlers that were there. He went in there, grabbed the mic, acted like he was gonna say something, dropped it, and walked out.
Damn.
And that's how everybody
And
knew that he was like a heel
So
now.
that's how they introduced him as the heel. That was what they did.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he won Elimination Chamber to go to WrestleMania. So there's Royal Rumble. Whoever wins the Royal Rumble goes to Elimination Chamber, and no, WrestleMania. And whoever wins the Elimination Chamber goes to WrestleMania. But so you know the Elimination Chamber.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
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 And
I've seen it. So, but from what I understand, this is Cena's last little hurrah, isn't it? Like, isn't he done?
It's his last year, but like, it's his last year, so that's why they're making him champion to defeat the record, because he was tied with Ric Flair for the most titles. It's 16 to 16, so he had to beat him to be that 17, and everybody thought that like Ric Flair was gonna come out to try and stop him, but
that would have been awesome.
Yeah,
that would have been. I'm surprised they let him like be that 17-time, basically the GOAT of wrestling as a heel. Being that Cena's always been the good guy. That's crazy that you figured they'd have flipped it around.
And have you seen all them posts of like they're showing John Cena turning heel and all their kids are crying?
Yeah, people take that shit serious.
Because and I've seen a bunch of posts and it's like John Cena was a big the Make-A-Wish Foundation. He ain't doing that now, I'll tell you that, because
well, they got it. So, but I think his contract, I think December, he was saying he's done, like after this year in December. So
yeah.
I think I would think before that ends, he's gonna have to turn back good. He can't go out as a heel. I just can't see that.
It's John Cena, bro.
John freaking Cena. Now, what I did notice what a lot of people were disappointed with was just the performance of Cena. You could tell he was old in there, compared to last year. The last time he did that, there was so much more energy coming from him. But the man is old, and he even said that he's done. He's that's part of the reason why he's finished. That if he can't give 100%, as far as performance-wise to what the fans want to see, then that's when he decides he's stepping away. And he said he's at that point now, and it showed. I was watching the highlights. It showed.
It was mostly John Cena, but another thing is like the actual match, like how they put it was kind of just stupid. Like,
why? What did they do?
Like I said, because they go ahead and they put it as I just think it disappointed a lot of people. Yeah, I'm happy that John Cena is going out as the GOAT, like he broke the record, but like still they could have did a little bit more in that match. That was
That's a shame, yeah, because I've heard that, or read that from numerous sources that watched it, that they said the event itself, WrestleMania, was great, but it just kind of fizzled out with that last match. They weren't too impressed.
Because it was perfect. Like, we had a bunch of shockers, especially in night one. Like, my favorite wrestler, Jey Uso, won the world title. I mean, everybody knew he was gonna do that, but but it
Now,
was the main event.
Who did he face?
Gunther,
Okay.
which is also heel. He's a good heel, I'll tell you that. I hate him because he's just a bad wrestler, but he's a pretty good heel. He plays his personality good. But it was the main event that shocked me. So Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns. Paul Heyman was Roman Reigns' wise man. Well, what happened at WrestleMania? Well, what happened was that in War Games, Paul Heyman asked CM Punk to be with the OG Bloodline team. Well, now he owes him a favor. Well, what happened was that favor was to be in his corner at WrestleMania. So he basically betrayed Roman Reigns and then goes ahead and goes with CM Punk. Now, here's what shocked me. On Monday Night Raw, Seth Rollins was about to stomp Paul Heyman, but he stopped, grabbed the mic, and said, "Now you owe me a favor."
Uh-oh.
So what happened was he grabbed a steel chair, Paul Heyman, and got in the ring, because it's no disqualifications, and gave it to CM Punk. And before he hit Roman Reigns with it, he low-blowed him. Well, then grabbed the chair, gave it to Roman Reigns, and he was about to hit Seth Rollins as kind of like, oh my gosh, the favor was not a thing, like, and then he low blows Roman Reigns and basically betrays both of them and goes with CM Punk, gives the chair to CM Punk and walks out with him.
Okay. So when was that?
Saturday main event.
Saturday main event. So that's what I was going to ask you more about the structure of the WrestleMania now. Is Saturday totally separate from what goes on Sunday? Like they have matches that build up to a main event on Saturday and then the same thing on a Sunday?
Kind of.
Or was Cena in his match like the pinnacle, like it was the top of what everybody was waiting on? That was
what they do is they kind of have to split it up, because if they started that they would have to start at like 3 to get it all done in one night.
It would go on too long. Well, you were saying main event. I guess you meant main event for Saturday night was.
Yeah, the main event for Saturday.
Does it like end Saturday and then pick back up Sunday, or is it like Saturday has its thing and then Sunday starts and it like they don't really connect, because
that's what I was wondering, if like the whole storylines or anything like move on to the next day, or they got it broke down by days how they do these matches.
No, because if you look at the tickets, you can either buy the night 1 pass, the night 2 pass, or you can get both. I
got you. But you don't have to go to both to get the enjoyment out of it, I guess is what I'm getting at. Like you're not going to be lost going to the Sunday one and not the Saturday one.
No.
Yeah. I was wondering, because like I said, the whole thing threw me off where now it's a weekend event. I'm thinking, damn, that's a lot. That's a lot of wrestling, man. Back, I remember it was like you either had one big match or you had like the Royal Rumble where everybody was just in the cage beating the shit out of each other, until one man was standing. That's how I remembered it. So it's changed a lot. But what were there any like big surprises or shocking moments that they did? What was one of the ones that stick out to you?
The Paul Heyman one was definitely one of them. Okay. And the other one was, Becky Lynch. She's kind of like a legend.
I know of
Well,
her, yeah.
She got hurt. Something happened. I don't remember, but and she goes ahead and it was supposed to be a tag team match for the World Tag Team titles. It was Liv Morgan and Raquel Lee. I'm not going to even try and say that last name.
That's okay.
And it was supposed to be Bayley and Lyra Valkyria. Well, what happened was on Raw, someone attacked Bayley. I think it was the World Tag Team Champions because they probably thought she was going to drop out, is what I'm trying to think of the storyline is. And we go ahead and it was a mystery.
Okay.
All right? And we find out that Becky Lynch comes out. So it's a total surprise. And now they're the World Tag Team Champions. It's crazy to me.
Oh, so that happened, what, Saturday? Sunday?
I think it was Sunday.
Well,
Don't fact.
Either way, though, that was this weekend you were talking about. That
and there was
big
another
surprise.
one.
Well, go ahead.
Randy Orton he said, I'm not missing WrestleMania. That was his one stand. I'll fight anybody, but I'm not missing WrestleMania. Well, there's this guy called Joe Hendry. He's in a whole different brand. He's the champion for a whole different brand. And I'm pretty sure he's making his WWE debut because he was at Royal Rumble. He was on NXT. And now he fought at WrestleMania against Randy Orton.
So I didn't even know Randy Orton was there over the weekend.
That was the shocker. We're trying to find out, and all of a sudden his theme song plays, and everybody in that crowd knew who he was.
Well, yeah.
He's big now. Big.
Damn. Well, trying to think what else. If there's any other shockers I heard anybody talking about, or any other like new storylines that got introduced, that may carry on to, the next.
Stone Cold almost murdered a fan.
Yeah.
Well, I did see Stone Cold. Almost. You say almost murdered a fan. Did you see the reaction from that woman? Like, it was so delayed. It was crazy. I'm about to pull it up. Actually, let's check it out.
My mom's sitting there saying, like, what happens if he crashes? And all of a sudden,
boom. Let me pull it up. As I do want to.
Did you see the aftermath? Like, the barricade was bent.
I did. Well, hell yeah. It was a big old four-wheeler coming through there. Let's see. He's coming around. I don't know what he did unless he just lost. Hold on. It froze up. There it is. Guess he just kind of lost traction when he gave it gas. But did you see the woman? Watch her. Let me see if I can find it. All right. He's coming. Come on, play, man. Hold on, I'm trying to find the spot where he hit her. But all right, let's see. He's coming. Keeps freezing right there, and I don't know why. It's like they're not wanting to show it. They don't see right there every time.
Oh.
Yeah, something's stopping that video. It's probably YouTube. Let's see if we can find another one. It's like it wasn't that big a deal. I mean, it's not like he ran the lady over, Let's see if we can see this one. So he hits it, and look at the delayed reaction. He just, boom, hits it. And then she
Can I be honest?
Yeah, be honest.
She probably gonna milk it to try and sue him.
Well, of course.
He's Stone Cold Steve Austin. He got money.
Well, that and the WWE itself, I can't imagine that that's not crossing her mind. For one, there's probably lawyers calling her. But
yeah.
This is how they started for Stone Cold. I think he was drunk to begin with. Look, this is him trying to go to the stage. He misses the whole stage. Gets stuck in this corner or whatever the hell he's doing. I guess he's trying to find reverse now. So I don't know if he's ever driven a four-wheeler before.
When the instructions are unclear.
I mean, look, he's just destroying the wall. He can't even. This is Stone Cold. He's supposed to be this redneck, this beer drinking redneck, 4-wheel driving, and all this. And I guess that's when he made it out. But I'm thinking, yeah, he was off from the beginning. I mean,
They
look,
probably should
it
have
was
stopped
simple.
him when he missed the
Instructions:
ramp.
turn,
Yeah.
go upstage. And he misses the hole. Oh man, what was he there for, Brayden? What did he do?
To call out how many people were there.
Oh, that's what they had him there for.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering. I was hoping he was gonna fight, but I guess his
That's
fighting
what I'm
days are
saying.
over.
It could have been like oh no, The Rock comes out. They're fighting tonight. What?
I wonder if wasn't The Rock supposed to be there? I thought somebody was complaining about that.
That's
he
what
didn't
I'm
come.
saying. Like, the whole storyline was based on Cody Rhodes turning heel, like, because of The Rock.
Yeah.
And he's not here? I was
Yeah.
thinking it was going to be like Elimination Chamber. The Rock's theme song was going to hit, and then Fiend was going to hit, and then the Rock's theme song was going to play. That's how they did it, and they both come out, but that ain't happened.
No, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. I guess The Rock's got better things to do now. But yeah, I was
Yeah.
kind of. I seen somebody. I don't know. Somebody was online complaining about it, like that he wasn't there, like he was supposed to be or something. I don't know. I don't know what the guy was on there griping about. But
No.
if you, is there any outcome you would change? Any outcome you were disappointed with? Anybody lose that you didn't
No.
like?
No. They made WrestleMania pretty good.
What are
in
you
my
more
opinion.
of a you more of a heel guy or? What do
Um,
they call the other ones? I know they babyface is what they called them back
Yeah.
in the day. Is that what they still?
yeah.
Oh.
It's kind of different. I have my favorite wrestler is babyface, but there's some wrestlers I like Logan Paul, and he's heel, but I still like him. So
He wrestled too, didn't he? This weekend?
he still is wrestling. He wrestled at WrestleMania. Yeah, it was against AJ Styles, and that match was pretty good. I'll say that.
Yeah, I
That
did.
match didn't disappoint.
No, I saw. I was listening to Cena talk about just how good Paul was. How great he looks and how athletic he is, and and he was really giving him his
Yeah.
props. So apparently he had a good match and he looked good out there.
Because I really thought it was gonna end pretty quick, but they had it boom. I thought he was gonna second pin. I thought that was it, but no, it kept going to he was hitting all his moves until he finally hit his finisher.
What's I'm sorry. Speaking of what's Cena's finisher called?
Attitude adjustment.
Didn't he give it to Rhodes a few times?
I don't know.
Thought-
I've always thought he's stuck with the Crossroads, which is the move he has now.
I was just trying to think. Like I thought I saw him throw Rhodes up on his shoulders a few times during that match and give it to him, and then your boy kept getting up. Maybe I was watching some other highlights. I don't know.
With his finisher.
But
John Cena hit the
Um,
other guy.
Cody,
Yeah.
probably about 4.
that's what I was saying. So yeah, it's not much of a finisher.
Well, no, that's the.
But
Well,
the ref was dead too.
he
Oh
was.
yeah, I did see the ref laying. What happened to the ref? I didn't see that part. Did he kick him
What
in the nuts
happened?
too?
Was what he sent Cody into the corner, and the ref just got stuck there. So Cody hit him into the corner, and he falls down and rolls out the ring. He was down for a while, and then Travis comes out. I don't know why he was there.
Yeah, what has he got? Has he been in the WWE all year doing little pop-ins
Well,
like that, or how is he
it was-
affiliated with it?
It was I think it was mostly he was there for the John Cena heel turn. That's why he came out, because he was there when he turned heel. So
Oh, so he has been involved with the WWE then.
yeah, but did you see that Travis hit Cody at Elimination Chamber,
No.
and and he gave him a black eye and a busted eardrum.
Did he?
Yeah.
Well, did he get hit last night, Travis Scott?
Yeah.
Who hit him?
Cody.
Cody hit him? Good.
Yeah.
Good.
Do you know Jerry Lawler?
Yeah.
You know who Jerry Lawler is? Yeah. You know all them
Yeah.
old ones, don't you?
I
Pretty
mean, I know
much.
a couple.
You know a lot of it.
I know most of the good ones. I don't know, like,
Well, who was the biggest? Any return last night? Anybody that hadn't been, on the scene in a while and then popped up and kind of surprised everybody?
Becky Lynch.
Becky Lynch.
Yeah.
I guess somewhat Stone Cold, even though he didn't wrestle, but I guess just him.
No, but I don't.
He just drank like 8 beers and
Yeah, he did.
He drank 8 beers and got on a 4-wheeler.
Well, what happened? Like you were saying, he was probably already drunk, but then he calls out the numbers. Theme song hits. He grabs his beers, does his thing, and leaves.
I got you.
So,
Well.
But-
Well, hell, what's your favorite part? The matches or the promos when they're cutting them? Getting in all that stuff, that mess they get into in the back behind the stage and all.
it's funny when they. Alright, so out of matches, it depends on like who's fighting. It has to be like, it can't be no like fun person who like just joined and has lost all their matches against like their brother or something. Like it has to be like, I don't know. Let's say for instance, Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton. That would be a good match,
Yeah.
and I would watch it. But promos, it would have to be someone who has already been beefing for a while. Like they already been fighting, and then they get on there and like they just go after each other, basically.
Who cuts the best promos right now?
Can I be honest?
Well, of course.
I love it. I love it when Logan Paul comes out and he comes out and does his little thing. And this another guy called Carmelo Hayes, and he will walk out with a mic, and there's always a celebrity there. So he walks out, and if there's not a celebrity there, or like a basketball player or a football player, whatever, he will roast their hometown or he'll roast the team that they're on. And like they look like they're about to jump the barricade. It's so funny. That's funny.
Yeah. I was trying
There
to
was
think of
also this thing that Dominic Mysterio won the Intercontinental title, but he's also in this group called the Judgment Day, which another Judgment Day member was in that match. Well, he betrayed that Judgment Day member to win that match. So I'm waiting for that beef to go on because that
was
that's
something
gonna
that
be
happened this weekend.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's probably something that's going to carry on then, like you said.
Yeah,
It didn't just end.
Well, they've already been fighting. Because Dom wants someone else to get in the Judgment Day, but Finn keeps saying no. Well, now I don't think Finn has to worry because that happened.
Yeah. Well, Justin, you watched any of it at all?
little bits and pieces. I was just kind of on the couch and was listening to him scream more than anything, but I caught a little bit of it.
Yeah, so you're not as much of a wrestling fan as your son?
No.
I didn't watch any of it because I was going to get him to break it down to me on what happened. I just seen little highlights today, just kind of checking some things out, but I didn't actually sit and watch it.
Yeah, I know the John Cena match went on for like 30 minutes.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, I was watching a lot of the highlights of that, and I mean, and I don't know how old John Cena is now, but I mean, he's been doing it for what, 20 some odd years.
I think he's like 50.
Yeah, he's close to it because you could tell, and that's like I said, he was admitting that he's kind of done with it, and that was the biggest complaint I seen coming from people was just it just wasn't the old Cena. Because matter of fact, they were showing a side by side video of him last year compared to this year, and it was night and day difference with the energy level and the execution of the moves and all. So,
Yeah.
but like you
What
said,
an
when it's
odd bald spot.
who Cena,
Yeah.
why? Where's it at?
It's like dead center back of his head.
Oh, where you see that at?
Just anytime he's wrestling and you can see his head,
Oh,
it's
you
like
could.
going bald, like
I
right.
thought you were looking at something just now. I was gonna say, let me see. Let me see. Nah, but like I said, I could tell listening to him talk to Pat McAfee after the after WrestleMania, after the event, he sat down and talked to him, and you could tell his heart hasn't been in it as much. The drive isn't there, and it showed during that match. But he was just so adamant. He said there's not a check big enough that somebody can write to bring him back after December. Like, he's done. He said, I want to put that out there to anybody listening, anybody that thinks they can buy me or whatever, or pay me enough to get me back in the ring. He said, I am done, 100% finished in December. So you could tell his mind's been there for a while.
Yeah.
But he's been at it. He gave a lot to the sport, so he's been at it. What's that big girl's name that dresses in all black?
Nia Jax?
I'm going to show you.
She's the champion, so.
Okay. Well, what's the Ripley? She's a heel?
No.
No.
She's just
a wrestler?
You saw that? That was crazy.
So what was going on there?
So that was the that's the match that I was talking about. The Dom won, but Carlito was out there, and he was on the table about the camera looks over and there's Braun Breaker about to spear him, and then he does. That was crazy.
See, and that's the type of stuff I'm talking about, because some people complain. We were talking about it yesterday, and we were all together about how people call it fake. And I find it amazing myself that there's that many people in the crowd watching. I mean, you can see the people, and the majority of them know that it's scripted to a certain extent, but the action is real. You know, because Brayden, you know that at your age, these guys aren't.
That's what it keeps me from. That's why I watch it, because it's scripted, but that I'm using that for instance. Like, when you see that, he got hurt. You know that he ain't just say, "Oh, I'm fine," and dust it off. Like, what?
Well, yeah, it doesn't feel good, I'm sure. But it's just amazing that they do such a good job with that. With that organization to keep people hooked and entertained, knowing that a lot of what you're watching isn't, real. I guess I hate to say it's not real, because then wrestlers don't like that shit, because some of them guys that wrestled back in the day can't walk, because their bodies get destroyed doing it. But you know what I mean when I say not real. It's not like they're out there really hating each other, and it storylines are made up, and they do such a good job with it, apparently, that it keeps attracting people. I mean, I was your age watching it, and now you know what I mean? It's just it's a generational thing where they just keep it going for years and years and years, and it still amazes me that people do it, because they don't hide it much anymore, that it is a scripted, kind of thing that goes on there, but they don't have to hide it. They don't care. I mean, that's how big of a deal it is. So they must be doing a good job, as far as the storylines and just entertaining people.
Yeah, because like I said, the stadiums that they do it in for Raw, or from I don't know, hockey stadium, where it's not as many people can fit. But it's crazy how they do the Giants events, and that's what I was looking at. That's what I was thinking. It's like, you look at it and there's so many people. And I'm like, and it's crazy? Not where it starts going up like this, but all where it's flat, and then there's the barricade, and it keeps going, and then finally it goes up. Technically, all there, they put chairs all out there.
Meaning, like, yeah, there wasn't enough seats, like it built like stadium seats, basically, where they had to add more. Is what you're saying?
Basically, yeah, they do that but they put out seats, special seats every premium live event, and that's now that I'm really thinking of it, that's crazy. Like they get out there and put all them chairs down.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a
and
lot.
another thing. This is fan. He goes to every premium live event. Okay, his name is Green Shirt Guy. And
Green shirt guy. I'm gonna look
he
him
wears
up
a
while you're
green
talking
shirt.
about him.
Look him up. I'm telling you.
I am. I'm looking him up while you're talking about him. Green shirt guy. That's what they call him.
Yeah.
What they do? They catch him, like they put him on television basically every time they see him.
Well, no. He's in the front row every single time. So you see him automatically. But I saw this post. I've been seeing posts, and he was walking down the entrance stage.
Is that
Yeah.
him?
Yeah.
A green shirt
So
guy.
everybody's
timekeeper.
saying that they knew that he works for WWE, and it's kind of stupid. He's been he's been there since like 2009.
Yeah.
So like he's been there every single time. Like he can't go up there and talk to the announcers. Like and then what really got me thinking is that there was a YouTuber, not really that big, in the middle of the ring. So
in the middle of the ring.
yeah, he got there there was people there, and he was standing in the middle of the ring.
Damn.
Yeah.
How much of that? I was just thinking, we were talking about the Stone Cold thing. When you were watching it, they showed him run into that barricade, like on TV?
Yeah.
Because I didn't know if they cut or something because he screwed up. I wasn't sure how it was shown on television when it was live.
I think they replayed it. Actually.
Oh, so they weren't even trying. I figured they were like, "Oh shit, we'd hope nobody saw that," because I have a feeling that woman's coming. So they got some lawyers right now just licking their lips, like, "Here we go."
Yeah.
And I seen he asked her if she was all right.
Yeah. After the fact.
What?
He went over there and checked on her.
Oh yeah, I seen him get off the bike and he checked on her, and then she must have said I was okay, because then he went and did his thing in the ring. But I'm like, man, somebody should have known better. Give that man keys to a four-wheeler. He's back there slamming beers, whatever he was doing. Well, what else? Anything else interesting? WrestleMania 41? Anything else stand out? Like I said, I don't know much about it, or I'd have a million questions for you. I haven't watched wrestling in so long. I just saw the hype. I was like, man, people are still watching this stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And then it gets me into it. I'm like, damn. I remember John Cena. Nah, there's a lot of new ones. I don't know who they are, but I see some of the old heads come out.
Another thing that I liked, that there was a bunch of new champions.
I wanted to ask you that, if there was any new,
a bunch
people
of them,
that won belts that.
There was the World Heavyweight Championship. That changed hands. There was the World Tag Team Championships.
So who hold on, who were the heavyweight?
The heavyweights were Jey Uso and Gunther. So
okay.
Jey won that, and then the World Tag Team match was the New Day won against the War Raiders, and and then there was a United States Championship match with Jacob Fatu beat the champion, LA Knight. There was one that didn't change hands, and that was the WWE Women's Championship, which the champion retained against Charlotte Flair, Tiffany Stratton. So, let's see. And then there was the Intercontinental, which Dominic Mysterio defeated Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, and Penta to win that title. And then there was the WWE Women's Tag Team title, which was Lyra Valkyria and Becky Lynch defeating Liv Morgan and Lyra Valkyria. No, Raquel Rodriguez. So.
Okay. A lot of belts, a lot of champions.
Yeah, that was a big. That's why it was kind of a fun thing that I liked. That there was a bunch of new champions.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that keeps it. That's for sure. That keeps things going, keeps things mixed up, keeps people interested. It's a good idea. Good idea by Vince
Yeah,
to do that. Like I said, he's a hell of a storyteller. He's got your little
and
butt hooked.
and when we're talking about Stone Cold, there's another thing. How furious do you think Triple H was when he got back in that? When he got back there.
Oh,
Triple
after
H.
when he ran into the
Yeah,
because
Triple H was
Triple H kind of
probably-
run, basically he's like right below Vince McMahon in the WWE as far as
Triple H?
operations.
He
Yeah.
owns it now.
Okay, I was gonna say I thought he was a big part of it. I didn't know he fully.
He owns it now.
Oh, so he's the one hollering at people now and fussing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I'm saying. He probably was so furious.
Well, somebody was blaming him because he was apparently still in charge of I don't know, the content or whatever, the storytelling, and they were kind of coming down on him because of that last match and the way that it was put on. That he should be ashamed of letting it play out like it did or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, and if I'm being honest, so Roman Reigns, before Cody Rhodes defeated him, he held the title for 1,300 days, a little bit more. I don't know the exact, but somewhere around that number. And what happened at WrestleMania 39 was the main event was Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns retained. Well, then at WrestleMania 40, it was the same match, but he lost the title. So now he's held the title ever since WrestleMania 41, which he just got beat by John Cena to win. So, and what I like to think about when there's a whole new champion is like, how are they gonna do that? Especially with John Cena, like how are they gonna get it to change hands?
As far as Cena's belt?
Yeah, like you have
Well,
to think who's gonna do it, Because it might be Cody Rhodes to win the belt back. It might be anybody. That's the thing. So
Well, what other big events do they have outside of WrestleMania?
they have. So the biggest is WrestleMania. The ones that I can think of on the top of my head are Money in the Bank, Royal Rumble, Elimination Chamber, Bash in Berlin, Bad Blood. That's all I can think of at
Now,
the top of my head.
could any of those though potentially have a match where
Yeah.
people fight for the belt?
Yeah, they could do
Okay.
it on Monday Night Raw or Friday Night SmackDown, but
Yeah. Okay. Because you
it's
figure they're
just
gonna have to do something before December, like you said, for him. Somebody else is gonna have to get that belt before Cena's gone.
they're gonna have to because he's not gonna walk out there with the belt. Another thing I was thinking, he might just give up the belt and then they have a tournament for it.
Guess he could do that. He doesn't have to lose it technically.
No, he could give it up because Roman Reigns, he would have held it even longer than 1,300 days, but he has leukemia. So he had to give up the belt to go and quit WWE for a while to go get treatment for that. And then he came back in the WWE and won it and had that reign. But in my opinion, that Roman Reigns would have lost that belt if it wasn't for the Bloodline, which is his group. Because, when he had all his matches, they were pulling the referee out the ring. And so...
Well, if you were Triple H and you could decide who the belt, who's going to get the belt after Cena, who would you pick right now?
So...
Like if you could design the storyline and okay, this person's gonna, whether he's beating Cena or it's just handed over or whatever, like who would you think needs to have that belt now? Or who would it be out of? I know you got people on your mind. I see you thinking.
So, my big people would be CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and yeah, them two.
Them
'Cause
two.
they're like the two of the biggest.
So not Cody Rhodes. You don't think it should go back to? No.
No.
Any new? I mean, you think it'd be better to have some new up and comer, or they just don't? There's
Yeah.
because I know
Well,
CM Punk's been around for a while.
Well, there's not a lot. So there's Penta, which is making a big. He's making a big start right now, but he's been wrestling for a while, just in other companies.
I see you. I see
So
what you're
if
saying,
you
but
think about it, he didn't really start
right.
in the WWE wrestling. See,
Which a lot of them do that, right? They start their careers off and that's their goal, I guess, to make it to the WWE. But
yeah, and I was gonna think the WWE is it's the biggest wrestling company, so I'm sure you have to go in other companies for them to see you, and they're like, oh, this guy's good, and then you already want to go to the WWE, so you get off and you're like, oh, bye.
Oh, of course.
Go straight.
Did you watch that documentary on Netflix with Vince McMahon and the WWE?
We started it, actually.
Yeah. That's what made me think about it. That a lot of these guys, man, they were wrestling under different names and in different companies, and but their goal is to basically make it to that WWE. So I'm that's why I didn't know if there, like I said, there was any new up and comer that's really hot right now that they could possibly give that belt to.
Penta, but I don't believe he's qualified for the world title yet.
I got you. Yeah, because it's basically it's all about for one, somebody that can hold that belt and represent the company and continue to fill stadiums. So who's the hottest guy out right now?
And yeah, because you gotta think, there's people that watch it and then they spread it onto their friends. Oh, this guy's champion right now, and they start knowing. Where they're like, oh, well, I'll try this out, and that's basically what get more people because they're like, oh, this guy's champion.
Yeah.
Oh, well, let me go watch it, and then you watch it, and you're like, oh, I like this. I'll keep watching it, and that's what mainly gets people. So when the newcomers get in there, they're like, they make a big thing because one is because they're like making a big start, and because two, it's when you think of WWE, you think of big stars and not the little people in it right now. So it's kind of good to have people that can actually go straight up and represent the WWE also. So
it's true. When are we going to see you up there?
When's your debut?
Oh.
He's mathing.
Probably about 2040. I don't know.
That's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah. They need a wrestling school around here. We'll send you to wrestling school. Oh, let's just put a ring in your dad's backyard.
Let's do it.
Backyard wrestling.
That's what I'm saying.
That always goes well. So, all right. Well, let's wrap it up. That was a good WrestleMania recap. Brayden, I thank you for educating me on this. I haven't watched. The last one I watched was when Undertaker threw Mankind off the top. That's how long ago. That was the last big wrestling thing I've ever watched. So that was my guy, the Undertaker.
A while, yeah.
It was. I remember watching it, and I was old enough, like I was an adult, so I knew that it was quote unquote fake. But I remember when he threw him off the top of that cage, I'm thinking, this shit might be real. Something.
There's no way that doesn't hurt.
No, I remember thinking that, like, wait a second, I thought this shit was fake. Like, he just threw that man off the top of that cage and he landed on a table and hit the ground. And I'm like, how do you, I remember thinking, how do you fake that? There's no faking that. Well, come to find out, it really, really messed up Mick Foley and Mankind.
And I've seen a bunch of things like that. There's a bunch of people like in the WWE saying that that's one of the people that would like do anything for that company.
Anything. Well, yeah, when he
Yeah.
decided to get thrown off the roof, because I know Undertaker was saying, he was telling him, I'm not throwing you off the top of the cage. And he's like, no, just do it. It'll be
do it.
fine. And,
Well,
and then I think when he slammed him through the cage, that wasn't planned either. The damn cage broke, and I'm
Yeah.
thinking, yeah, you don't fake all that,
No.
and that's why them wrestlers
No.
get so pissed when people start throwing the term around fake.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing fake about your tooth coming through your nose, which is what happened to Mankind when he got thrown off the top of that cage. Like I said, I remember watching that as an adult thinking, oh, shit, I thought this stuff was fake, man. There's nothing fake about that, and at least
Not
that
about the
aspect
injuries,
of it.
know?
Yeah. Just watching
Oh.
that, I'm thinking they could have killed that man. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It just made me look at it so different back then, I'm thinking, oh, they're just wrestling on top of the cage. And then I'm like, did he really just do that? Like this
a
dude
hard
just
drop,
voluntarily,
dude.
yeah, like.
And there's another thing I see, so Shane McMahon is on the top of the cage, and someone, I think it was I don't know, it was The Undertaker, on the announce table, and he jumps from on top of the cage and goes down and lands on top of the announce table. There was a crash pad below it, but, it still had to hurt.
I saw that. Yeah, I seen it. All that shit has to hurt. I'm with you. I mean,
Yeah.
I seen one. They were showing a clip where Undertaker, he ran and dove out of the ring and landed head first on the ground. Like he said that was one that damn near got him, because you could just see the top of his head just smacks the cement. And he's a big old dude. I mean, I don't know what he is, 7 foot something, and big old guy just flying over the top ring and his head first onto the ground. Damn near broke his neck. I'm like, you guys are nuts, man.
You seen when he technically caught on fire?
Yes. Yeah. You talk when he
Yeah.
was walking out?
Yeah, he was walking out, and he's
Pyros
lighting the
go.
pyro. That explodes. He moves to get out the way,
Yeah.
and that explodes. So he's in the middle of it now.
And then he still has to put on that act like he's the Undertaker while he's on fire. I'd
Yeah.
be running. Stop, drop, and roll. No, yeah, I
Yeah.
did see that. He was a hell of a character, man. Probably the best to ever do it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Between him and Kane. And they were still wrestling when you were into it, were they, Brayden? Was Kane and Undertaker still at it, or had they been done by the time you really got into wrestling?
I mean,
Because you know who they
and-
are, for sure.
yeah, I know who they are. But so I was into wrestling way before I am now. I was like 4 maybe,
Yeah.
and I used to watch it, but now I don't. They probably weren't there, but
Have you seen either of them in a match, like,
not
since
in
you've been watching it?
not in a match, and no, not since I've been watching it. But I have at WrestleMania 40, which I wasn't watching. The Undertaker came out and chokeslammed The Rock. So
Yeah. That's about all he can do now is come out,
But-
grab somebody, choke slam him, and he's done.
but Kane's a mayor now, so
Yeah, what do you think about his political takes? I'm just kidding. But yeah, he is, man. He's into politics now, and it's just funny
Yeah.
to see that. It's funny to see that. He was just on the Undertaker's podcast the other day.
yeah, it's funny because he turned into from walking out, and then in the middle of the ring, and the ring things, there's all fire around him, and now he's a mayor. So
No, he's a mayor. Well, I want to
Big
say,
change.
I don't know if you remember Jesse the Body Ventura. You remember him as a wrestler? Like, have you ever heard of him? He was one
No.
back when I was young, but he was just flamboyant, just a typical wrestler. And then I think he was the governor of California or something. So they get into politics for some reason. And it's just odd to see it. Not that they're not smart men, but it's just funny to see. Like you said, you see Kane out there, the big red machine in the middle of the ring, making fire come out of the post and all, and doing these storylines that they do. And then all of a sudden they're mayor of a town, So it is funny to see that stuff. But anyway.
yeah.
All right. Well, let's wrap it up. That's
Alright.
enough wrestling. Justin, we'll be back live tomorrow.
Yep.
Maybe talking some more wrestling. But I do have a story for you, so we'll talk about it tomorrow. But
Cool.
Brayden, thank you for getting on here, buddy. I appreciate it.
Alright.
we're gonna-
I'll be talking to y'all when another Premium Live event comes on. So
Oh, we're gonna do it. Anything else you're an expert in, you let me know. Football season's coming.
bet.
NFL. We're gonna get on here. We're gonna talk about some NFL
That's
for
something
sure.
actually he can talk about, not just sit here asking questions.
Well, that's all right. We got you.
Yep.
We got you.
Aight.
So we'll talk. Y'all be good. BSing with the guys. We'll see y'all
Aight.
later.
Peace.
Peace.